Now, agree with it or not, New Yorkers have a reputation for being rude.
So, here were some rules that we can all follow to be better neighbors. Is best-selling author and nationally syndicated columnist and all-around polite person, Harriette Cole. So, Harriette, thank you so much for joining us.
I'm happy to be with you.
Are New Yorkers really rude?
I want to say no, with a little exception. And I'll say this. I'm from Baltimore. When I moved here, you know, the way I was taught, you acknowledge everyone when you see them on the street. So guess what happened? People started following me down the street because that is not the way that people are in New York. I think there's so many people here. You have to create your space, and creating that sometimes means you have tunnel vision. You can't see everyone, right?
Right.
And so that can be looked upon as rude, but I think it's just navigating your way in a very densely populated place.
Right, you have a destination, you need to get there.
Yeah.
Okay, so now some tips that we should all keep in mind. You wanted to let us know that talking on your cell phone in public places, like the nail salon, I'm guilty, or
I
the
have
bus.
been guilty.
Yes.
But it's like talking loud and talking long. You don't want to be, you don't want to talk too loud or too long in places like that, and you want to use what children know to be the inside voice.
Oh, okay.
Right? You know, adults need to know about that inside voice too. It means talk quietly and keep it brief.
If it is excessive, is it appropriate to say something? Wait, is someone calling you?
Oh, look who it is. It's Amy Rosenblum, R.E.P. Look at what she's up to over there.
Now, what do you think about this, you guys?
No.
Hi, Amy.
I think it didn't work for Rudy Giuliani. Look at her.
What's doing?
But guess what? You know how often this happens. How often have you been, you know, on a date, somewhere where you absolutely are supposed to be focused on the person in front of you, and the phone rings or chimes, you think it's a text, and you turn.
Shouldn't it just be on vibrate then?
But if it's even on vibrate, don't you feel it?
It's a distraction.
Don't you feel it and look?
It may be. I never look. I just do it.
You are the exception to the rule.
Here's my problem with this. Can we really keep it real here?
Okay,
we have
let's do
very
that.
little time in our lives to spend with family and friends. So when I go out to lunch with you, I don't want your phone. Really, honestly, Amy Rosenblum, you're unbelievable.
I put it on vibrate. But do you see what happens?
Yes.
You completely lose focus.
No, totally.
Now,
and that's
I would say when you're at a restaurant, if there are a couple of things. If you have a child, if you have an elderly parent, or there's some critical thing happening
where you need communication,
you tell the person who's dining with you,
I'm monitoring a situation.
Right.
And if you get that call, you say, excuse me for a moment. The best thing to do is get up and go away from the table, and you make it brief.
Okay.
Yeah. What about texting and walking down the street?
Well, that's just foolish. Even though many of us have done it, people have fallen into potholes. If you live in New York City, you know, really, look at how many cars are whizzing by. You can easily get hit by a car. People have gotten badly hurt. But also, it is so completely unconscious. Do what you are doing. You know that concept of be here now?
Yes.
Do what you're doing, and then use your phone when you get to a place where you can be still.
So what is the polite way to text if you have to?
What do you mean?
Is there a polite way? Do you do it under the table? Is there a polite way to do it when you're walking down the street?
You need to stop when you're walking down the street because it's just unsafe.
But may I add an addendum? You need to stop and move out of the way.
Well, this is true also. Don't stop in the middle of the street.
Yeah. But I see people doing that too. Just stopping.
So this is the part when people say that New Yorkers are rude. Because, and it's not just New Yorkers, it is the world revolves around me. Therefore, when I need to do something, I'm simply going to stop and do it. Like, let me. And guess what? The world, unfortunately, does not revolve around me. I wanted to, but it doesn't. It revolves around all of us. Yeah. And if we can be kind to each other and aware of each other in our space, then we're doing great.
What about trying to push your way onto a crowded bus or train?
Okay, just, again, common sense. If you wait and let people exit, then you can get on with much greater ease. But people push, they bring their bags, they make it so uncomfortable when the easy thing is just to make space.
What about the person who stands in front of the door, even though they're not getting off on the next stop? What do you do with them?
The best thing you could do is look at that person. Would you please move over so I could get in?
You don't do this?
Well, you know what? Here's what we know. People have been hurt. But remember, someone got killed texting in a movie theater. So,
That's true.
You have to be really mindful. You have to be really mindful of how you might set people off. One thing about being in New York, we like our space. Don't touch people if you don't have to.
That's true.
Well, what about taking kids colicky ones, to an upscale restaurant?
Well,
oh, Amy.
Well, apparently not.
Here's the thing.
Little...
I have taken from my daughter's now 10, from a little baby, I took her to restaurants. Not upscale ones at first, but she has been trained. She knows how to be at a restaurant. If you have trained your child, that's not my phone. If you have trained your child to understand how to eat elegantly, how to be quiet, how to participate in adult conversation, then it's fine. But you know whether your child is ready for that.
And be courteous to the other patrons.
Yeah,
There you go.
exactly.
Well, Harriette Cole, thank you so much for all the great tips on being nicer New Yorkers.
And turn that phone off.
And we do hope that you come back.
I'd be happy to.
Thank you so much.